It's infuriating to watch your monologue. It's infuriating to watch the monologue, look at all the crime, look at the statistics, and look at the laws behind it. Because you know what it makes me think? You know what it makes the American people think? The criminals are on the streets, but the worst criminals are in office. They're voting on pieces of legislation.
Totally
They're pushing through pieces of policies that are harming the American people, and they know it's harming the American people.
I know.
The thing is, they just don't care because they have armed guards, because they live behind gated communities, because they've sold out the American people. We all knew this was going to come.
Crime and Punishment. I doubt many GOP members have read that classic novel, but it's what the GOP turns to time and time again when they don't have a material strategy for American voters. Like clockwork, they parade out people like Candace Owens, curate a couple videos going viral on social media having to do with violent crime, mix it all together a couple months before the midterms, put it on Tucker Carlson, and call that a winning strategy. What's so funny to me about these segments is that they're always so vague. Like, rewatch this video and tell me if anything Owens is saying is actually specific to our current moment and not just something that could have been aired a full year ago or 3 years ago. That's important because it's inherent to these segments. There's no analysis of the cause of crime, no tying it to specific legislation, or even using these shows as platforms to talk about what the Republicans are actually going to do about it. That's how you know it's all entertainment. Crime and Christianity, those are the stalwart themes the right will peddle when they have no real solution to the problems they continue to raise with how Democrats lead.
I'm seeing all these people with, t-shirts that say Jesus is king, or some people have crosses. I can see a bunch of people with crosses on their t-shirts. They fear us. They fear this Make America Great Again. They fear those that say America first. They fear God Almighty. God chose us. We chose God. This country is going to be just fine, but we have got to get involved.
So here is Michael Flynn, like Owens, making no attempt to explain what he means by these bold, vague claims. Who fears you? Why might they do so? And more importantly, why are you not using this opportunity as a Christian to talk to those who are afraid of your message, instead of ostracizing them even further? Because that's how the GOP wins. By sowing fear. Fear of crime, fear of the other, fear of God, fear of America. I don't think there's a way of proving this, but we all know that Republicans have this fear game locked down as the one and only strategy they use. And more importantly, Flynn's message is perhaps the most anti-Christian message I've ever seen. Exclusion, hate, rivalry, pitting Americans against each other, etc. And it's all just lies. Owens keeps repeating the completely false claim that the police were actually defunded. Yes, the phrase was and is widely popular on the left, and some reforms were made, but police departments across the board were not defunded. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act of 2021 was a policing reform bill drafted by Democrats in the United States Congress, and it aimed to combat police misconduct, excessive force, and racial bias in policing. Things that people on both sides admitted are crucial reforms and have wide-scale bipartisan support. It, of course, was blocked in the Senate, and Congress has not looked back to the issue since. About 23 states have adopted legislation for things like police misconduct, but nowhere has it gone as far as Owens and Fox News want us to think. Whenever there's a lack of specificity, of details, of political analysis, you can be sure it's because these people aren't using facts to back up their emotional screams. And as we approach the midterms, these cries are just going to get louder and louder and louder. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.